So another video here on taxable income. This one's a little more complicated, but as with most of these things, remember that they're real world. You just need to think about it in a real world context and think about what everything actually means. Murray works as a full-time jackaroo and works 2 evenings per week in a band. Murray earns $641.52 per week and $118.53 per week from playing in the band. During the year, Murray also earned $87.52 in interest. That's during the year. Okay, so our first step here is to calculate his gross income. So gross income, that's all of the sources of income that Murray had. You can see that he earns $641.52 per week. So that's 52. You can also see that he earns $118.53, and that's also per week with his band. And you can also see that he earns interest. Now the interest is for the full year, and that's $87.52. Basically, you got money in the bank, so the bank pays you interest while it's in there. Now, grab your calculator out. We can do that all. Okay, so that's 39, 6, 10, and 12 cents. That's our guy's gross income. So that was part A of the question, calculate the gross income. Now part B, let's read that. It is 15 kilometers from the property where Murray works to the club where he plays. When someone has 2 jobs, the cost of travel between the jobs is tax deductible. If Murray is allowed a tax deduction of 58 cents per kilometer for travel, calculate the travel deduction. So this is a deduction question, which we've already looked at before. His travel deduction is equal to, now it says it is 15 kilometers from the property. If Murray is allowed a tax deduction of 15 cents per kilometer, calculate the travel deduction that he's entitled to. Now it sounds like Murray earns this much per week from his full-time job and $118.53 per week from playing in the band. But here's the important part. He works 2 evenings. So that means he's only making 2 evenings per week. That means he's only making 2 trips per week. But from one job to the other. So that's 15 kilometers per trip, and he's making 2 trips a week. There's 52 weeks in a year. So that'll work out how many kilometers he travels, because he travels 15 kilometers twice a week, 52 weeks a year. And then he gets an allowance of 58 cents per kilometer. Really complicated stuff. So that comes to $904.80. That's his travel deduction. So that's part B here. Now the last part, part C, is to calculate his taxable income. Now remember that taxable income is equal to gross income minus deductions. And that's equal to his gross income, $39,610.12, minus, that's $12, minus deductions. Now there's a deduction of $904.80. That's his travel deduction, but there's also another deduction of $948.50. Okay, so put that all into your calculator and you get an answer of $37,756.82. So that's Murray's total taxable income. Now I know there's a lot of work there's a lot of thinking, there's a lot of reading as well. Make sure that you read these questions and fully understand what the intention is. The intention is, how much money does he make in a year? What deductions is he allowed to make? And then subtract one from the other and you get the taxable income. Okay, that's taxable income stuff.